Hi everyone, my name's Leah Tamazi and I'm an engineering graduate in Ixom's graduate program. I'm currently in my third year of our graduate program and I'm based in our water team. The main team is in Auckland, but I'm actually on my monthly water sample run. So I've travelled down from Auckland and I'm here at our Mount Maunganui site today, and I'm gonna take you through what this sort of trip looks like for me, what an average day looks like for me. So let's go. So I'm just gonna go walk out onto site and get my samples. I have my bottles. To go out on our site, we have to have our head covered, our eyes covered, long sleeves, long pants, and boots. And of course I have pink safety boots because when pink is an option, always choose pink. While I'm walking around site, I just have to make sure that I stick in the yellow lines marked on the road specifically for pedestrians, as there's lots going on this site. There's always sort of forklifts moving around, trucks moving around, people. There's actually a truck in our gantry currently filling, so lots to be aware of while I'm out. So this is the cooling tower that I'm getting one of my samples from. It's really important that we maintain the water chemistry in these pieces of equipment, as they're really expensive, and if the water chemistry goes out, then there's the potential for corrosion and scaling inside, which we don't want. And obviously, when something's that expensive, you want to look after it and maintain it. So we dose particular chemicals into the water, and that prevents the corrosion and the scaling, and also any bugs that could live in the water. So we want to keep everyone on site safe. So I've got both my samples here from our cooling towers, but before we go anywhere else, I want to show you one of my favorite views from the Mount site. So we're gonna go up there. When I first started in the graduate program 2 years ago, I was based down here at the Mount site as a project engineer. I studied chemical and materials engineering at uni, so it was great to come to a manufacturing site and be able to apply some of those skills direct from uni at a site like this. The team down here are all so lovely and friendly, always willing to share their advice and knowledge, which is great. As an engineer coming out of uni, you feel like you don't know a lot, but being surrounded by a wealth of knowledge was really helpful for me starting out. Now that I'm based up in Auckland, I don't come down to the Mount as much, only when I'm doing this monthly sample run, but the view that I miss the most is definitely this. So our site is based right at the port, Mount Maunganui. As you can see, the log yard is right behind us, and that's the Mount, and that's our site, all down there. The tanks that I'm standing on, they get filled from bulk ships, so super handy that we are right by the port, because the bulk ships come in to port there, and there's a pipeline that delivers the product to fill these tanks. One of the benefits of coming to the Mount site is that they love a morning tea. So we actually have morning tea today to celebrate 10 years of service for one of our engineers. So I'm gonna go in and have a look at morning tea. So I'm done with all my testing now at the Mount site, and I'm actually now gonna head off to our Morrinsville site, where I have to collect a few more samples. So I'll go to Morrinsville and then I'll make my way back to Auckland. I've made it to Morrinsville now, and I'm just gonna go and get a couple of samples from our boilers that we have here. So I'll go get those samples and then I'll head into the lab here, do that testing, and then I'll be on the road back to Auckland. So it's been a pretty full-on day, but it's important that I get all these samples and do the testing to make sure that we're looking after the water in our equipment. So I've got my samples and I'm here in the lab. And I'm just gonna go do testing on them now. Waiting for the timer. Right, well my day is all done here now. I've just finished up at Morrinsville and now about to drive on back to Auckland. So it was a big round trip. I do this trip monthly, so I thought that I'd just show you a bit about what I have to do during this to get all the samples and then the testing. And when I get back, I'll have to write up all the reports. I hope that you found my day interesting. This is a really awesome role to have a bit of interaction with our customers, but also use my technical knowledge in understanding chemistry in equipment and then maintaining it, making sure that our customers are getting the best service possible.